JD, back again. First, let me say that I am very saddened by the events that have recently transpired in Eastern Europe. It truly pains me greatly to see such unwarranted aggression against a sovereign nation. My heart goes out to all those people in Ukraine affected by this travesty. And lest we not forget those wonderful people also in Russia willing to stand up against this behavior, and those affected by the policies the West has implemented to deal with this disaster. Because really, they are the ones most hurt by what the West is doing. Which brings me to my next points. The world governments have failed. The US and UN have failed. And while I don't think it is the US's responsibility to police the world, they are the best ones to carry out such action. And the UN is such a politically corrupt and incapable organization that its very dissolution would be optimal. It is up to the UN to promote peace and cooperation between all the world nations to address the problems that affect everyone. And they are just a bunch of squabbling businessmen looking out for their own interests and basically taking sides so that nothing gets done. Action should have been taken months ago to prevent things from escalating into this situation. And the action taken thus far is laughable. It is just as former President Trump said in one of his speeches. The US is basically nickel and diming the Russians who are clearly being bankrolled by China. In other words, the actions taken are no more than a slap on the wrist of Putin. Does he look like he cares about the sanctions? Of course not. He has everything under control. In fact, everything has been progressing just as he planned way back in 2015. Things couldn't be going better for him. Which brings me to my next point. Putin's master plan. It is so obvious that I can't understand why Washington or the rest of the world can't see it. He's already completed phase 1 of his plan, destabilizing the United States flawlessly. He did so quietly that no one even knew that he was conspiring. Now, America is such a divided country that it is now incapable of doing anything. Way back when the president made a statement, people listened. Now everyone questions his motives, spurred by false media, bankrolled by his opposition. So, with America out of the way, the next phase could easily be implemented without obstacle. That is, the takeover of Ukraine, a former Soviet state. And if the world lets that happen, there will be no stopping the next 3 or 4 phases of his plan. He will subjugate the other former Soviet states and recreate the Soviet Union. And in a matter of I scratch your back, you scratch mine, he will help China capture Taiwan. And then they both help North Korea capture South Korea. What happens after that is pure chaos, a domino effect that will forever change the shape of our world and end our ways of life. That is the only way all this can play out. And the only way the world could avoid catastrophe is if all the other countries agree to stand up to the bully governments like Putin. Otherwise, there will be more devastation and loss of life. And the future world will be a bleak wasteland. Thank you for listening to my rants.